Join me as I welcome Future to the White Couch. What up? The Scorpio brother. Exactly, man. I'm glad to finally get you up here, man. I've been trying to track you down and get you on this show.
Yeah.
And there's like 800 people that said they know you and connected and all this. And then I heard that you were trying to get up here or something.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to get up here, man. I don't know who the 800 people was, but...
Now we're connected.
Yeah, we connected,
It's
man.
official. Welcome in. It's the season finale. I'm glad. See, when we do it, it's always in a bigger way. So I want to go back, though, for people that know the records. Everybody's heard all your records and stuff. I want to kind of go to the history of Future, how you got into music. What was your first musical memory?
Man, my first musical memory probably was going to the Hard Knock Life concert with my uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like who? Jay-Z and DMX?
DMX,
all
Redman.
those guys. Epic. And then what made you want to be, when did you know you wanted to be an artist yourself?
Man, I didn't know I wanted to be an artist and take it serious until I went around my cousin Rico. When I started going in the dungeon and seeing how those guys put the records together, I was like, man, I can do that. But you know what I'm saying? It just took some time to develop. Just being around him and soaking the game up.
Mm-hmm. How important was it being in Atlanta and growing up there, and especially having a cousin like Rico Wade in the industry and doing it to your success and you being able to be put on?
Man, I feel like that's where the trend started at, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Outkast, they laid it down, laid the foundation for other artists to come behind and really just set the tone and just reinvent yourself time and time again. And that's what the Atlanta culture is about. Just coming back, different artists coming up, you know what I mean, on the underground and just setting your trend and making your own wave.
Did you know when you started making music that this was going to be your career, your path, what you do in life?
Yeah, I pretty much knew it once I first started. Like, I wanted to be involved with music some way. If it wasn't being an A&R, just being a writer, just a producer, just someone behind the scenes, just having influence with music. Man, I always wanted to be a part of it.
Now, how'd you get your big break and actually get, because, you know, there's so many artists out there, it's tough to get noticed, even when you're dope with stuff. How would you get your name out there and stuff in Atlanta in the early days?
Man, in the early days, I was just dropping mixtapes. I felt I had this formula where I was like, man, I'm gonna drop mixtapes every 2 months. So every 2 months, I'd drop a mixtape. And by the third mixtape, I was working on the mixtape called Dirty Sprite. And then before Dirty Sprite, I did Racks on Racks, but I wrote it. I wrote it for YC at the time, you know what I'm saying? So when I wrote it for him, I was still doing Dirty Sprites. He ended up getting a deal, and I was like, man, I dropped all these 3 mixtapes. I felt like my hard work was in vain at the time, but I knew it was gonna pay off sooner or later. So just kept working, and I dropped Tony Montana. Started dropping Magic and Ain't No Way Around It, and songs like Itching, and kept doing the mixtapes. So I got a great response within my fan base, and just kept going.
And when did you realize that you were like, damn, I've kind of not made it, but like, damn, I'm really like, this is really working? Was there a point?
I was in the studio just working. Tony Montana was out. It was about to be top 10.
Big record.
And then it was like, man, Drake on the phone. He wanted to holler at you. So I was in the studio. He called me. And he was talking about getting on Tony Montana. I was like, wow, it's all happening right now.
Wow. And then how do you make your next move and stuff and figure out who you want to work with? I'm sure the world, like everybody's coming at you then.
I always went towards like, man, who I'm gonna work with next. It pretty much, I let everything gravitate towards me. Yeah, I would just work hard, and you know what I'm saying? When you just want to be prepared for who you work with and just be able to get a hit, you know what I mean, deliver. So my whole thing was you don't want to just keep working with everyone and not deliver a hit. So anyone I choose to work with, it just happened organically.
Now let's talk about the Dungeon family for a second. For people who may not be familiar in the mainstream, so much talent has come out of this like little crew, I guess, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
you have Outkast, CeeLo, even yourself is kind of, you know.
Outkast, man, CeeLo to the whole entire Good Mob, Backbone, Witch Doctor, Cool Breeze. Man,
just magical. Now,
a lot of artists.
Future. That's why a lot of people, I think, you know, were surprised when Coachella came around and Outkast brought you out. Like, it was so crazy to see that. But there was there's such a history.
Yeah, it was a history. When I first came out, I always strayed away from the dungeon. I didn't want to tell anyone that Rico Wade was my cousin because I felt like it was gonna make it harder for me. They was gonna be like, oh, well, he got this because of Rico. The only reason he signed with LA because Rico, you know. So by the time I went to LA Reid and I was doing my deal, I brought Rico with me because I knew no one knew about it. So I never told in my interviews that Rico was my cousin.
It's crazy.
Even though Dungeon family been on my arm, no one never asked me about my tattoos. So
wow.
They never said nothing about Dungeon family. So I was like, man, that's gonna be something interesting after I get my hits, after I get myself established. It's something to find interest in and just be able to bring that up. After I get on, then I'm telling people Rico Wade, my cousin, I'm in Dungeon family. But from the beginning, I always separated myself from Rico because I felt like they was gonna be like, man, they trying to make me feel outcast shoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those some big shoes to fill. So I wanted to be my own brand and brand myself in another way.
You've been on tour for so long. How do you manage keeping your sanity and stuff? Because people think tour is fun. It's a grueling schedule, man. When you're in a different city, different bed, every night, like how do you maintain your sanity?
I just stayed busy, you know what I'm saying, the whole entire time. Every day we go somewhere, we're in another city, so we traveling. Yeah. Most of the time we traveling. By the time we get there, we do sound check. From sound check, you have the show. After the show, we leave. I didn't want to sit in the city for a day, you know, so I wanted to make sure every night we leave and go to the next city and get it done.
What is there that you haven't done yet that you still want to accomplish? I mean, you're still young. You're still, like, relatively new in the scene, but, again,
I want a #1 pop record.
You still don't have a #1 pop record?
Nah.
I think,
I had 6 #1s, but they all urban. 6 #1 urban. I have over 20 top 10 records.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a #1 myself. Like I done wrote on records like I wrote the Rihanna records. I wrote on the Miley Cyrus. A lot of people don't know. Wow. Besides just me writing on the songs that I did with Miley, I wrote the verses. I'm really writing the record. Wow. And like so, I wrote records on Miley Cyrus album. I wrote Rihanna. I wrote with SKEE, I wrote, you know what I'm saying, with for Drake or Wayne or Flo Rida. I heard for B.O.B. to some new records, you know, the new Tinashe record I've been working on. But like I write a lot of records that people don't know that I write, because when I first came in the game, I was like, man, I'm not gonna even tell people. They don't know about it. I don't care as long as I'm getting the check.
You didn't tell anybody anything.
Nah, I don't tell people about the records I write because I like to work with the artists and allow the artists to be their own self, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of records that came out that people know about, the love songs, or like The Stand with Miley, they know. But if you don't know, if you don't read the credits, then I'm not just really gonna tell you.
We are right here with Future. I'm glad we finally got you up here, both in all white on the white couch and stuff.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. I'm coordinating.
Dude, how do you get your fashion sense, dude? I see you always on some next level stuff.
Man, I come from the streets, so man, it just come natural, you know what I'm saying? In the hood, you always have to dress up when you go to school. Just around, just find little different accessories just to stay blending in with the kids who probably had something, was fortunate.
Yeah, that's true. You know? So what are you working on right now? I know you're off to, well, you're about to hit Europe, right?
Oh yeah, we're here in Europe. I got a Europe tour that's about to happen.
Never stops, huh?
Never stops. So we're doing festivals in Paris and all the festivals over in France, and we're doing that in like another week. So I'm being France.
It's gonna be killer. So then what's the plan for the rest of the year, man? When are you back in the studio recording, or you're probably ending on the road, huh?
Yeah, I've been in the studio since I've been back in LA, like the last 3 days. And today I'm gonna chill. We go to Vegas tomorrow. So I'm gonna go to Vegas and go to the studio when I get there. And then when I get back to LA on Sunday, I have a video. So anytime I get a chance to get in the studio, man, I get in.
You're doing it now. Who are you really excited about right now? Is there anybody new or anybody that you're working with that you just got in with that you haven't been doing a ton with? We're gonna be hearing in the future.
Man, it's hard. I'm excited about the producers, Metro. Metro, he a new dude. He got the new sound.
Yeah. That's killer. Now, in terms of MCs and stuff, we were talking about Dungeon Fam. I believe Andre's on a lot of people's lists and stuff. Who are your top MCs that you know? And this is just your personal influence. Who are the people that influence you the most, that you listened to as a kid?
As a kid, I listened to so many artists as a kid, from E40, like I say, E40. Man, I listened to Soulja Slim, rest in peace of Soulja Slim.
Yeah.
And, I used to listen to a lot of Mac, No Limit, a lot of No Limit artists. Yeah. Even Boosie, we used to always listen to Boosie, the Trill NT, the Fam, and UGK, you know what I'm saying? Man, so many artists that I listen to, but I'm a big fan of Wayne. Like, I love to listen to Wayne.
Are we gonna hear you on the Carter 5 stuff?
We working on it.
I know they're keeping everybody tied on that. You got a couple projects.
But I do have a record that I'm about to drop on this album that I'm putting together right now. I have a Wayne versus super dope.
Man, I can't wait to hear that. You know you got to bring that up here, man.
Super dope, yeah.
And do that. Now, what's it feel like to be, you've been called as being the guy at the center of the hip-hop universe, meaning you seem to be on like every hot record, every hot trend. How does it feel to be like that it guy, like right now in the industry?
Man, I feel like you got to continue to make more hits.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on it. How do you feel when people say that you're like the hook guy, the new, you know, a lot of people went from like Nate Dogg, Akon, now they're saying Future, and there's sometimes, you know, connotation like you don't want to be just the hook guy, the record guy. Like, how do you feel about that, and how do you deal with it?
Oh man, I never let people, whatever somebody dictate for me, just let that be my like the the path that I choose, you know what I'm saying? I know where I want to go. I know what it takes for me to get there, so I just got to work hard, you know what I'm saying? Then when I get there, then you'll see what's going on.
Absolutely. Now, you're very, I mean, future Pluto, like very, space. I even saw a Grantland article that said that you were an astral weirdo who struggles to adjust to mainstream gravity. How do you feel about when you hear statements like that? Are they true?
Man, it's sort of some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? I'm just different. You know, I strive being different, man. I don't want to be like the same dude. I want to set the trend and be a trailblazer. Yeah, man. So you're going to get all kind of weird names called.
Yeah. Now, how do you choose which records to keep and which ones you give away? Because you've got so many records, and a lot of people are like, wait, is that on your album? Is that on somebody else's? And you're all over those? Like, what's that process like when you guys are in the studio collaborating?
Man, I'm not sure. But anytime I work in the studio with another artist, like if I'm working in the studio with an artist, I try to be like, man, okay, this is your record. So since I'm on your time, I'm making this for you, I'm writing this for you. I'm not trying to take it back from you, even if we make something great. And like, man, I want to keep this for myself. And I'm not that dude. I'm fair.
So who do you think on your last album, who do you think, in terms of the guest verses, because you had a lot of people on there, the last couple projects, who do you think really tore it down? Is there, like, when you heard Kanye's verse on it, like, what were your reactions when you've heard some of those records?
Man, the Kanye West verse definitely was a standout just because of the timing of everything.
Yeah, right? That, like,
just what he was saying.
Made a statement. It was more what he said, you know, like.
It was a statement.
Yeah. What do you want Future's legacy to be when we look back a few decades from now? What do you want people to think of when they think of your name and look back at your history?
Man, he changed the way. He changed radio. Each and every time when he put a record out, changed the radio sound from Move That Dope to Turn On the Lights to whatever record you might hear from Same Damn Time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just give you records. I gave you catchphrases and I gave you a style to just pretty much run with.